So, how do I begin this? This is the 1D or first dimension ant self transmutation. I'm laughing. I'm like laughing at myself because it's ridiculous. It's a piece of you that is so archaic and psycho and operates in a hive mentality and latches on to lie after like social movement, lie, fad here, lie there. Because that's how ants behave. So it's a self that's stuck and hoed. And it has like these knife rapery clipper. It's a self in the cells of your being, in your bones, that prevents any and all forward movement of life because it connects to the social fads or the environment and then vibes with them instead of attune to go into Netzach and get your natural self integration and rot, a clean out, and then go into Tiferet to enjoy Hufflepuff. Let me explain. I'm hearing a lot of people recently telling me that I got fat in the astral planes. Okay, so there's like this psycho buzz in people. Like I wear a sweatshirt. So I wear I'm a size 0, okay? Like I wear a sweatshirt and I come online and then people's brains get triggered. Kali Ren got fat. And then it emanates into the astral planes to me, a psychodrama from everybody's brains going crazy. Kali Ren got fat. So you can't pass Hode. You cannot pass Hode under those circumstances at all. I'm like, do I need to stand up? Do I need to I have like this little ballerina body. Okay. Like I'm a size 0, but Kali Ren got fat. And that's what I'm hearing from people. I gained 5 pounds, 5 at the most, when I went through all the knife rape torture. Okay, so do you understand how cruel that brain is? Because instead of going, Kali Ren needs money, or Kali Ren needs prayers, Kali Ren needs healing energy, it's this psycho muggle brain wavelength that's very reptilian, but it's it's low. It's low. Talking about my weight. Instead of the fact that I starved to death, or that I'm still alone screaming for help. So it bypasses any and all humanity for complete social reduction of an individual based off of a completely superficial front or persona, which may or may not even be accurate. So it's a psycho. And everyone has it. Now, in India, there are these days of worship. I'm really apologetic towards my inability to remember which history or which religious holiday it is. But it's where they worship the creatures that they have evolved from. So they go back and they worship the worm, the ant, the slug, and the way that DNA has evolved and mutated, because they understand that the human form is associated with these creatures, even if they're just microscopic bugs. And it makes sense. So in our first dimension, like old, archaic, bizarro self, we have this like spider-looking ant. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up that dimension and then burn it out so that we can then go into the next phase of the Hufflepuff Cook, which is the Netzach fourth dimensional reptile body plus the fifth dimensional additional ascension body. So that will be the next video. But this one is required before that begins. Now, if you don't really feel astral energy or are able to meditate or even access dimensional frequencies, it's because you're a muggle. So what's the point of even trying? Now, if you want to ascendio into Hufflepuff and you know in your heart that you belong there, you need to set up some appointments and do personal work to help integrate the new forms. So a lot of the people who are going to do the ascension are trained and have probably a decade at least of spiritual integration work. And if they don't, they wake up and they go, I'm going to sign up for Kabbalah 99 right now. And then I give everything to it because something triggers in their brain that's what they need to do. Okay, so ascendios, everybody has a very different path, but it's not like, oh, we're just muggles. Like, none of them are muggles, okay? We're all star seeds or indigos or Or reptile Slytherins that go, oh no, its nutsock's closed, so I definitely need to figure out how to kill that self and ascend. Let's begin. She said, take a deep breath in and close your eyes. Now, I've already done this on my own body, but I will be guiding you through it for yours. But I will be doing it on somebody else right now that has not undergone this transmutation. So it can work both ways. You can do it for yourself or for somebody else and help them. We're going to be opening up dimension 1 through our bodies. And it's almost like a surgical incision placed on your arms and legs through your central vertebrae in the front and the back. And you're going to start to see the inlay of the spider reptile insect self. And it might be metallic or like fossilized wood, but it's hard. And you're gonna open the space around this insect creature. And begin to let it breathe. And we're going to pour a marshmallow goo on top of it to help eat through the calcified crustacean self and bring a sense of divinity back to your being. So I'll go through the body parts. We'll start with the eyes. You'll see them popping through and they look like the alien gray bug eyes, like an ant. Usually. If you're a different species, it might be a unique version. If you want to puncture the eyes to see the goo come through and start it actually feels good because you're going to be puncturing out these air bubbles around your own face. that were just stuck and hoed. And then we're going to open up the nose. And let that marshmallow come on through. And then we're going to do the head and the brain. And there are these antlers or antennas. They like go out, and you're going to coat the antennas that marshmallow goo charm. And then maybe you have better receptivity in hearing more divine intelligence. Now you're going to look at the spine, and it looks nasty and brown. If yours is red, that's okay too. It will look like red or reddish brown. And you're going to open up those crevices and get the marshmallow to go through. It will even have a tail that you should make sure to paint. You should begin to silence the drama and the chatter within the brain, because you're not attuning to the social frequencies in the ethers anymore. So it's about cutting that off for attuning to the dragons or the higher divine. It really is to get you out of the social hoed muggle existence. Social conformity. I'm hearing the question, Do I ever feel controlled? Definitely by Slytherins trying to attack me. People like Star is very controlling in a very aggressive, abusive way. So like in that capacity, I feel controlled. From the dragons, 0. So there's a sense of law and order and respect, justice. The dragons, there's this when you hit a certain level, there's a certain respect, love, and when you attune to it, it becomes freeing, liberating. So I don't feel controlled by the dragons. I feel controlled by how much work I have to do for them, but not really. Because there's a generic love or gratitude or the sense of being. It's like, hey, that's my job, or that's my kid. I'm supposed to take care of it. Something like that. Or my pet. But they're usually so much fun. And they joke and they play with you as you take care of them. So we're gonna let the bug from the inside of, we're gonna open up the chest, the rib cage, and that should look like a disaster. You're gonna see it in your bones. The boys might have a different setup. They might have 50 layers on their chest, and then it's still in their bones. Like they have to put on a front. Mask how gooey they actually are on the inside. When you see the bones open up, you'll see these little crawler tentacle things try to open to breathe so that they can get the access into the marshmallow and then cook out. So you'll see them, those claws or feet or tentacles. They're not flowy tentacles, they're rigid and angular. And they'll come and then they'll expose like a sea urchin opening up, but harsh. They'll expose themselves, like taking your clothes off to bathe in the sun. Now see if you can get it to pop out of your arms and your legs. Now these are the big tentacles. And they'll just open up. And it almost looks like an umbrella, the spikes of the umbrella opening. And you think it might turn into a bat wing or something. It doesn't. Spiky. To the point where you'll get to the claws. You'll see their like hand claws and they're stuck. And maybe you'll feel the bat wing next to the claws. So nasty. When you realize what was inside of you your whole life, you go, I know nothing about nothing. But I know something about what was disgusting that I was holding on to. It's kind of like after you do a liver cleanse for the first time and you see what comes out and you're holding all the intrahepatic gallstones and it's or the fourth time and then you have a intrahepatic gallstone that's the size of a quarter and you're like, oh my god, that was in my liver. Now, you can imagine me or a dragon or spirit guide pulling them, these claws or tentacles, to stretch them out to the point where it feels like they're actually being ripped from your body. Or then your bones are just oozing the marshmallow. It might open like an accordion. And some of you will get the, yeah, that was the knife rapist bug. These are like selves that do things on autopilot. Somebody just said, yeah, Hode's like a confessed religion. Yeah, that's exactly what Hode is like. Now, we're gonna do the rib cage from the back because we didn't really get a nice, clean excavation. We see those tentacles coming out from the back of the rib cage and opening up. Excuse me. If the bug becomes fearful or stressed, it will retract. Then you'll feel like it got stuck. That's also triggered with my voice. So you'll want to leave this meditation and finish the job yourself after we go through the body. Some people may be fine. Now there's a cord at the back of somebody's spine, almost at the heart chakra or the high heart chakra. If you pull on it, it's almost like opening up a parachute. So it's like a tag at their heart chakra, but on the spinal. And it will help open up the back of the rib cage where it blows out. And then it opens. So all these little sea urchin, spiny sea urchin things start popping out. Layers and layers. And then you might feel a really big blowout. It's a big emotional block release. Remember, there can be 20 years or more of repressed emotions surrounding what's in the bones of your being. It might feel very reptile. This creature feels very gross. It's crustacean reptile monster. But it just wants to breathe and open up and then cook, and bathe in the light of God. The marshmallow of God. Then we have all this stuff on the legs and the back of the arms too. That's correct. Mostly where the forearm and the elbow is, you'll feel it's like harder there than like there's usually one little string here in the back of the arms and then a whole inset on the elbow and forearm. And then you might want to open up your hands and you might see like rusty orange razor blade stuff. I haven't done my hands yet, so they're still in them. I want better hands. And now you can pull on the stuff off of your arms. It might be stuck there though. Might be so compressed or condensed. So you go relax. And then let it open up. And let it fall into the marshmallow. And then the other arm. Relax. 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 It might be saying weird things. And you open it. And then we open up the legs in the front. And it's these giant climbers that are walkers. And they expand far. And you realize what a giant reptile crustacean creature was hidden in your little teeny body and compressed. Yeah, I have a little bit of that stuff still stuck in me. Not much, though. So I did this healing a year ago and then underwent huge bone cooks. So it's nice to revisit and then clean it out another year later. Just so you know. It's like somebody's going, it's like a yearly liver cleanse. And then eventually it just gets clean. I like hearing you guys in the astral plane sometimes because you come up with funnier comments than I would normally have in my brain. Or cute, interesting teachings or angles I would not have thought about. And then you're gonna let the energy out of your feet. And then it's more of those spider, it looks like tarantulas crawling out of your feet, but spiky instead of furry. That's disgusting. So when I'm working on somebody else, I'll pick a focal point on the room and I imagine their astral body at that focal point. And then I just keep looking at it, almost like it's a visible ghost. You guys might do the same thing. Maybe not. Now, underneath the kneecaps, there are like egg sacs or like miniature ones that need to get cleared out also. Some people might have both egg sacs and these little the tentacly ones. And I don't know if it's multiple organisms or one singular organism that has all these different body parts, but it doesn't matter. Could be implants or multiple organisms with one singular brain. Make sure you get it through your teeth or out of your teeth. And just make sure that they open in your jaw. If it's stuck in your jaw, let that energy come forward. That feels better. Now behind the knees, it's behind the knees. You're going to take a surgical scalpel and then open up, and that's where you might find the egg sacs. And you burn those out with the marshmallow goo. If you have everyone's different. So if you have like egg sacs in your brain, make sure to burn those out. I'm hearing somebody had an egg sac in their eye. Maybe somebody had an egg sac at their tooth. I have an egg sac at my tooth. That's where it is. So it might be at a very rotted part of your body. So I have a tooth that had like 15 fillings in it. And that's where the egg sac is. It's like this back molar that just never. Never could heal, or never could get clean, or never. So that's usually a giant energetic spot for demonic energy to present itself. Now this crustacean being is like demon level 2. They're accessing demon and hell level 2. That's how it's bad. It's a bad creature to have stuck in your body. So they're very dramatic. This is like Stepford wives gossiping about lies and each other all day long, creating more drama. The type of demon. What did she say? What did that person say? Oh my god, I love your dress. Does everybody remember being a muggle? How robot it was? Oh my god, she got fat. Man. Somebody's asking me, how did I even find this bug? So we were in Hode, and I was doing the dimensions for the eggs. And I opened up this dimension, and stuff started coming out. So I was going from the 0 dimensions, and then double 0 and triple 0 and quadruple 0, and then I started with dimension 1, and then it revealed itself. And I go, oh my God, what is that? And then I went into Nutsock and I was like, Nutsock's love compared to Hode. And then I go into Tea for it and I go, Nutsock's fucking evil. Hode's evil, but Nutsock's definitely evil. You have the shadow in your brain. And you have power. And once you get to Hufflepuff, you don't have that shadow in your brain anymore. Because that's your job. It's to cook out that shadow. All right. Some Hode people and Snetsock people are crazy. They're psychos. So the real stable brain begins at Tea for it. All right. I'm making sure that those egg sacs get popped and making sure my tooth one gets cleaned out. Now I'm going to make sure the back of the femurs get opened up and you'll find some more wires. Maybe it's different for males versus females. Be different. It'd be interesting to see different races of individuals, like white people versus black people versus Asian people, and to see if they all have the same structural ant or if they're like different species of the ant. That would be rad. Chances are it's the same, that it's the same species. Because we're all humans have such similar DNA. And we're all derivative of the same like animal species. So our skin color and our hair color means very little of our actual genetic makeup because we're all just humans. But the creature stuck in Hode is probably the similar creature stuck in Hode, regardless of somebody's skin color. We'll see. It will be interesting down the line. All right, we're almost done wrapping up. Please feel free to continue this meditation. When I did it the first time, I wanted to bathe and air out all these spaces for 3 to 4 hours. Now, as you finish this up, you'll begin to notice this psychodrama in your own brain or your own existence begins to diminish, and your brain, you'll establish quiet mind or more receptive mind instead of monkey mind. You won't vibe with everyone else. And eventually, you won't need to meditate. Life will become meditation. Eventually. Meditation will be producing a magic or crystal yolk temple. That. All right. Collie Run out.